this video we're going to look at Mikel Arteta's reaction to the North London derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham, 3-0 to Spurs.
Mikel, what are your thoughts on a really disappointing night for Arsenal?
Well, if I say what I think, I'm suspended 6 months. So I cannot say.
In that clip, Mikel Arteta was essentially a clone of Jose Mourinho when Mourinho said, "I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble." That's basically exactly what Arteta's saying here. He's very reluctant to give his own thoughts and opinions because he thinks the Premier League will probably sanction it in some way or another.
I don't know how to lie, and I don't like lying, so I prefer not to say what I think.
From the way you say that, I suspect that you're unhappy with some of the decisions that went against you in your opinion. Would that be correct?
I cannot say what I think. I will be suspended.
Once again, you can see here he's adamant not to say what he truly feels. He thinks he has to manipulate the truth and just lie rather than saying what he actually thinks, because if he does say what he actually thinks, he'll get in trouble for it. And I guess, yeah, the game was kind of controversial. There were different talking points such as the penalty, the double yellow for Rob Holding, all these different factors that Arteta's very unwilling to talk about, because if he does, the Premier League will probably come down on him.
Okay then, are you unhappy with your players?
With my players now. I'm so proud of my players.
That answers the question for me then.
Obviously, initially, Mikel Arteta wasn't really showing any signs of saying what he truly thought, so the interviewer had to kind of read between the lines and infer what he was thinking. Arteta just had his mouth zipped closed.
Will you talk about, first of all, the penalty decision and then the second yellow card?
You can ask the referee to come in front of the camera and explain his decisions. Are his decisions. I make mine, that's his decisions.
Unfortunately,
it's a shame because such a beautiful game was destroyed today.
So it's clear Arteta believes the referee is obviously the one to blame. But for me personally, I think we just, as an Arsenal fan, I think we just didn't really play good at all. Maybe like first 10 minutes we were all right, but then after that Spurs took over.
Unfortunately, Mikel, though, we can't talk to the referee. If we go to the second yellow card, it's clear what you think of the decision. But should Rob Holding have showed more composure having already been booked? Does he give the referee a choice to make?
The decision is made. Cannot change it. The referee has to make decision in a reaction in football.
I guess Arteta's view here is just the damage has already been done. You can't really reverse the past, you can't change it. It is what it is. I guess that's how he's viewing it.
You've got no Rob Holding, and also, how bad does Gabriel look?
He felt something, so hopefully Ben will be fit and hopefully we recover Gabi, because if not, obviously we don't have enough players in the backline.
To be honest, it's going to be kind of peak if we don't have enough defenders. Looking at the team, obviously we have 2 games left, Newcastle and Everton, so if we don't have our first team defence, it could be kind of peak. We might concede, lose.
Has there been much damage done psychologically, do you feel, to your players?
Again, this game is history for us. I just say in the dressing room, now it's Newcastle. This is gone.
Mikel Arteta seems to be the type of manager who just quickly shrugs things off and moves on, as opposed to sort of thinking about the game. I think he's saying he doesn't want this loss to like mentally affect him or the team. He wants to like quickly move on from it. It was obviously a bad moment, but just quickly like move away from it and move on to other things.
We know how it went out of our hands and we have to accept it and now go to Newcastle.
Is that easier said than done though? Just how flat are they?
No. It's very acceptable. You lost a football match in the conditions that we lost them. It's painful, but that pain cannot be sustained because we have a huge match on Monday, and now talk about the excitement of playing against Newcastle and try to beat them.
I think what Arteta's saying there is he basically just has to move on from this game, otherwise he believes the events that happened in the game were, out of his control. It was more just to do with the referee and the influence that he had rather than how Arsenal actually played on the pitch, which to me personally I disagree with. I think we weren't anywhere near good enough, but either way, yeah, he's just basically saying the ref kind of messed up.
Although it's still in your hands, this victory for Tottenham, does this hand them the momentum? And of course they play before you as well.
We have 2 games to play each of us, and as you said, it's in our hands, and we have to do our job.
I mean, I'd say like the fact that yes, even though we are 1 point ahead, coming off of the back of that loss, we're going to be kind of downbeat naturally. Whereas Tottenham are going to be, they obviously have momentum going into their next games, and also when you look at Arsenal and Tottenham's 2 remaining fixtures, Spurs, they obviously have Burnley and Norwich, whereas we have Newcastle and Everton. Whereas Burnley and Norwich, those are 2 fairly routine games, unless Spurs do a slip up or something.
What have you got to show to win both games?
What we showed from the beginning in this stadium.
I understand you're angry. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was obviously evident that he was frustrated at the referee's decisions during the game against Tottenham. I mean, in terms of him saying we should continue to play how we played against Spurs, I mean, opening 10 minutes we were alright, but after that we weren't that great.